Bruce Naylor. You know, I spend a lot of time looking through the web trying to find things that I think would be of interest to people who are either in the small to mid-sized business community or people that's interested in things like security, the latest development in Windows and technology. And some of what I do is attend various webinars to get information and ideas. And I recently attended a webinar sponsored by Tech Republic and sponsored also by Sophos. And I wanted to share in this video entitled Tips to Keep Data Under Control. And you know, it's so important when we deal in the world of security and compliance and these sort of things. So this webinar I think is very good. I've included a link in the description of this video to the webinar. Why is compliance important? Well, for several different reasons, but the main ones is to protect your customer data and your company data, of course. But secondly, to avoid those CNN moments, as John puts it. And if you think about it, when data breaches happen, many states require that this is released to the public. And you certainly don't want to have something like that happening. And finally, to avoid fines, penalties, loss of privileges. Now, to give you an idea, some of these fines can exceed over $500,000. And also, if you're in the business, if you have a business that requires using credit cards, losing those privileges could be devastating. Some of the security risks out there, and these are very real. You know, cyber thieves cost Americans over $8 billion in the last 2 years, and over $1 trillion worldwide. According to Endpoints security tests, they show that 85% of all computers out there either have out-of-date security patches, firewalls turned off, that sort of thing. It's in bad shape. Now, Forrester research says that 25% of organizations have lost, or I'm sorry, it has said that 52%, sorry about that, 52% of all organizations have lost confidential information through removable media such as USB drives. DataLossDB.org says that 25% of data breaches occur through the theft or loss of laptops and mobile devices. And this is the big one. Computer Security Institute says that the average cost of a security breach is $300,000. That's a lot of money. We can buy a lot of great tech toys with that kind of cash. But we all come, if we haven't yet, we soon will, under some type of compliance policy of some kind or another. Now, the government has different compliance policies, such as HIPAA, the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, Sarbanes-Oxley, what's called GLBA if you're in the banking industry, the European Protection Directive if you're dealing with customers that are part of the European Union. Various state laws have passed compliance issues, and then on top of that, there are the industry standards that we're now having to adhere to, such as PCI DSS, which stands for the Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard. There's COBIT, there's ISO, ICS, the list goes on and on. Listen, bottom line is we are all in any kind of business going to be obligated to one measure or another to take care of compliance. So what a lot of companies do right now is establish some type of internal policy. It kind of consists of the following things: authentication, access control, malware protection, device control, application control, and encryption. So here's 4 tips to help with some of these issues. Tip number 1 is to protect your endpoints. You need to have a centralized management system in order to control things like anti-malware protection, application control, so no unauthorized apps are running on your network, device control, such as CD burners, USB devices, and authentication. Now, tip number 2 is compliance checks. You know, you need to be continuously checking on compliance. You need to be able to, excuse me, remediate and block. So that means if you have, say, a client computer connected to the network and its AV is turned off, the system would turn the AV back on before you allow that connection. User-based policy, for example, maybe you have a guest or a consultant come to your office. They wouldn't be able to access your network shares, but might be able to access the internet. Finally, compliance reporting. Now, tip number 3 is gateway protection. And that involves email filtering, so you can prevent spam, viruses, and malware through email, as well as quarantine email based on the content. Maybe you have a policy where looking for certain sensitive words and you want to block those from going out. Email encryption, so that protects your confidential email from falling into the wrong hands. And finally, web content and URL filtering, so to protect you against malware being picked up through the web and protect your acceptable use policy. The final tip is encryption. Data at rest should be protected. That's, for example, data that's on your file servers, that sort of thing. Data in use, and that's data out on the network that's being currently edited and used by the employees. And finally, data in motion, that's your like outgoing email as well. These are 4 tips to help protect that data and keep your company secure. I think these are some valuable tips. Certainly like to hear your comments and feedback on this video. I'm Bruce Naylor, your FrugalTech. Remember to join us every day at FrugalTech Live. Just go to frugalbrothers.com. Click the link that says FrugalTech Live. Every day between 1 and 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are broadcasting a live webcast. And we are also having a drawing on June the 30th for a Apple iPod Nano. Look, I'm Bruce Naylor. I look forward to talking to you. Remember, if it's in your shop, not making you money or saving you money, get it out of there. I'll talk to you later.